Hello again, everyone. Sol here. I have only one rule here. If it's animated, I'll comment on it. And we're in week 2 of this final February month, so let's not waste any more time getting into this next iteration, alright? I got shit to do. It mostly involves litigation and Mongolians and the cleaning up of dead fish in a bus station bathroom. Oh, did I not tell you about that? Oh, well. Anyway, we're gonna take a look at an odd duck in the Final Fantasy series, Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within. You can ignore what I said before earlier. I was just kidding. There's no need to, contact Interpol. But now it's history time, I dare say, so let's get right into it. Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within was created in 2001 by the now defunct Square Pictures and distributed by Columbia Pictures. The movie was the very first photorealistic CG movie to be made, and it cost a whopping $137 million to make, which it never saw a full return on, becoming the 4th biggest box office bomb in history and delaying the merger between Square and Enix at the time. It's kind of a sad fate for such an ambitious project, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. But anyway, that's enough of that, so let's just dive right in and take a look at this really strange Final Fantasy iteration, Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within. First off, let me dispel any notions you may have of assuming this movie has anything to do with the Final Fantasy series of games. Why is that? Well, listen to this plot synopsis here and tell me if it sounds like the typical Final Fantasy fare. In a post-apocalyptic Earth ravaged by a deadly infectious alien race known as Phantoms, Aki Ross, a doctor, researcher, hippie person, along with Dr. Sid, attempt to find a way to combat the Phantoms by finding 8 spirits, which, when combining their spirit signatures together, will somehow eliminate the Phantoms and thus save the Earth. Technobabble at its finest. Also, something about Gaia, the spirit of the planet, alien ghosts, souls returning to the Earth, giant space cannons, and clunky romance. Yeah. While my explanation doesn't really do it justice, I do have to ask, what the fuck hell kind of fantasy is this? I know that the term fantasy just refers to a general use of imagination to create worlds, and doesn't necessarily mean the land of swords, sorcery, and sexy elf ladies, but you know what I mean. You take one look at this and you just think, this is science fiction, not fantasy. But anyway, the plot? Yeah, it's a little boring, but it's nothing to get your proverbial knickers in a twist over. Personally, I don't understand half of it, but to go into detail as to why I don't understand it would be a little too spoilery, and it would take too long, so I'll just move on to the characters. Apologies to the, 3 of you who wanted to hear it in detail. So, these characters, I gotta say, are a marked improvement from the Idiots and Legend of the Crystals, but only slightly. Aki Ross is the protagonist who searches the ravaged Earth for 8 spirits that will defeat the Phantoms by doing, something. Aki herself is infected with the lethal pathogen that the Phantoms spread, but it is kept at bay by using 6 of the 8 spirit signatures, though the infection gives her strange visions of a world beyond her own. While I can't say a whole lot for Aki's actual personality, I will go on record by saying that I do like Aki quite a bit, because she's a strong-willed, focused, and determined woman with a very dignified poise. Whether or not that carries her through the whole movie is a matter for debate, but I do enjoy her presence for the most part. Then we've got Blandy Blanderson here, Gray Edwards, who's captain of the Deep Eyes and generic movie love interest number 26504. With nearly no personality to speak of, believe me when I say that watching Gray is so boring, I find watching Erosion more fun than watching him. Then there's Gray's teammates, douchebag McSarcastic ass, aka Neil, a Pauly Shore ripoff with a very punchable face, who no doubt practiced all his annoying snarky quips in front of his bathroom mirror. Ryan, totally not going to die first Whitaker, a black man who is black and therefore that is his entire personality. Jane, call me a lesbian one more time I dare you, Proudfoot, a very stereotypical tough girl. And Dr. Sid, a strong believer in the Gaia theory that states that once a living being has lived its life, its soul returns to the Earth's Gaia. I think someone's been playing a little bit too much Final Fantasy VII, if you catch my drift. I mean, who the hell does he think he is? Bugenhagen? Anyway, I like Sid, just because he always sounds so bored, yet so passionate at the same time. I didn't think that was possible, but I have been proven resoundingly wrong. But by far my favorite character in this film is the villain, General Hein, a man who lost his family to the Phantoms and vows to destroy them all by utilizing the giant space cannon Zeus. What I love about this guy is simply the fact that he is just way too evil. So evil, it makes me laugh out loud. Every shot he's in, every word he says, his slicked back hair, his outfit, just everything about him secretes villainy, and I just love it. Even though he has a totally legit reason for wanting to destroy all the Phantoms, his ridiculously diabolical nature just makes it impossible to take him seriously, and I just find it hilarious. I mean, I can just hear Mermaid Man yelling in the distance. Now let's move on to what makes this movie good, and I'm sure you all know what I'm going to say, so let me just get it right out. This movie's animation is fucking amazing, even to this day. While some of you may know my stance on photorealistic characters from my Polar Express review, which went something like this. Ugh. I gotta say, I didn't feel any of that creepiness running down my spine this time around. Some people may not agree with me about how far these characters fall into the uncanny valley, and I definitely understand why. But Jesus, and a baboon on a biplane, these models are just amazing! I swear they have to be some of the most finely detailed character models in existence, and just the fact that most animation in 2001 looked like this is a testament to how incredible these models were. Also, I will admit, I sorta like the technology this movie creates. Just like most sci-fi inventions, I can't see how they would be practical in a real-world setting, but in fiction, I think the designs of the various pieces of technology are pretty neat. But now we've passed the outer shell and hit the thick black goo of the bad things, haven't we? Initially, I figured my biggest complaint would be that this movie was extremely boring, but I actually found that achievement went to just how silly it is instead. In short, I can't take this movie seriously, even if you bribe me with a unicorn stuffed with steak and $100 bills. It's 1 teaspoon Final Fantasy VII, 1 drop Scientology, 1 tablespoon of WALL-E, 2 cups of Alien, and stuffed with a whole bunch of faff and clunky expository dialogue the likes of which I've almost never seen. The movie has a thin veneer on top that paints a serious picture, but if you take even just a fingernail to that coat, you'll find a very shaky and blurred image underneath, to say the very least. And if that's too hypothetical for you, then let me put it in plain, straight English. This movie has no focus whatsoever. It goes from being survival horror to science fiction to bleeding heart hippie hogwash to action adventure, then nestles itself somewhere between the border of Blandsville and Clichéburg right around the second half. Now, don't get me wrong, I completely respect that Hironobu Sakaguchi, the creator of the Final Fantasy franchise, wanted to try something different, but I think there were better ways it could have been done without sinking $137 million into it. Not to mention, the effects on those phantoms are just very awkward. It's funny how the characters and backgrounds can look so ball-bustingly amazing, but the creatures that get all up in your face look so, well, not bad exactly, just very fake. To sum everything up though, my ultimate verdict on this movie is that it's silly, but harmless. It doesn't do or say anything that offends, it's just so utterly bland that I can't even muster the energy to get worked up about anything in it. Do I regret I saw it? No, not at all. Will I watch it again? No, probably not. Final Fantasy The Spirits Within does avoid getting my big, wet, smelly stamp of shit, but I won't deny its lackluster nature. While I will be honest and say that the first half of the movie has some enjoyable exchanges between the characters, it ultimately fails to hold your attention for the entire runtime, making it a bit of an inane experience. It's a shame that such an ambitious project could fall so far, but it seems the spirit of this movie only flickered before it faded away. I give Final Fantasy The Spirits Within
2 eyes out of 5.
So, The Spirits Within. Is it watchable? Well, looking at those damn fine character models is fun for a while, though you might be reaching for the pillow and blankie by the second half. Is it enjoyable? Hell yes it is, but mostly just because of that General Hein character and just watching him and getting the case of the juvenile Snickers. Is it memorable? Well, the thing is a lot of people, they hold this movie as sort of like a monument of shit, and honestly, I think that reputation's a little bit unjustified. If I were to classify it in the simplest of terms, I would just call it forgettable. Anyway, what? Oh. a new shipment came in. Sorry guys, I gotta go. It definitely doesn't involve 4,000 pounds of rancid ambrosia salad, crystal mummies, and the ambassador of Zimbabwe. Sorry, I gotta go. Bye. You didn't see anything. Is it enjoyable? I don't remember what I was supposed to say. Damn fine character models. Can't speak. Want to stay up to date with the latest EyeofSol news? You can follow me on Twitter as well as on Facebook at twitter.com/EyeofSol299 and facebook.com/EyeofSol. I update them every day, so if you want to check out news on the show as well as updates, just follow the links here. Hey everybody, thanks for watching my Final Fantasy The Spirits Within review. We got 2 more reviews in this month of Final February, so you aren't going to want to miss it. If you could like, share this video, as well as subscribe to my channel, I'd be super duper grateful because I really do like that. If you want to see the previous Final February episode, as well as the other Sol episode, you can see the annotations playing on the video right now. Or if you want to check out my various social media sites, you can see my links to my Twitch channel, Twitter page, and my Facebook fan page there on the screen for you, as well as in the description. Have an idea for an animated series or movie you want me to comment on? You can leave me a message in the YouTube comments on any one of my social media sites, or just let me know in any way you can think of to let me know what you want to see, and I will add it to my list. Alright? Thanks again for watching everybody, and I will see you for the next installment in Final February next week.